All right, haves and have-not fans. Tonight is the penultimate episode. I mean, tonight is pretty much it. I mean, yes, I know next week is technically the final episode of the series, but overall, there's a lot of laughs tonight. You know, for example, this will be the last time I will have to do a trailer breakdown for the particular series. Now, I know we have the reunion coming up, and that's the topic of discussion for this video, but I just wanted to say in terms of the series as we know it, this is it, you know. I might do a live stream like I did last week after the episode, you know, depending on a few things, like if the episode is worth talking about, because as great as it was doing a live stream last week, which proves that, okay, I can do live streams at home, if the episode isn't that good, I mean, is there anything to talk about? Unless that preview is fire, because, you know, like I just said, we get the final episode with end credits, and then we'll get the trailer for the final episode right after that. So hopefully tonight's really good. But more to the point of the video, yesterday was a pretty big day. They did the filming at Tyler Perry Studios for the final cast reunion. Benny and Veronica, as far as I can tell, were like the only ones to really post about it on their social media, unless I missed somebody. But you know, I got a lot of DMs about it, and I saw them for myself as well when those cast members posted them online. Well, specifically, Benny posted about it in his stories, and Angela, she posted it on like Instagram and Facebook. But before going further into the video, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button so you show that you like the video. Hit the subscribe button. We're less than 20,000 people away from 200,000 subscribers. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And yeah, like I always say, hit that bell. That way you don't miss out when I post content, because YouTube is pretty inconsistent about letting us know, or letting subscribers know, when I post stuff. But it's sad, but in a way, I'm happy. I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I'm not trying to sound bitter, because, you know, the show hasn't really been that great the past several episodes, but I'm more excited for the cast reunion than I am for the finale. Just because there's no way in heck that every single storyline is going to be resolved in the next 2 episodes. Even if there's an epilogue, I don't think it's going to happen. But like I said, for the past several weeks here, Veronica and Catherine did an interview basically saying not every storyline is going to be resolved. And, you know, if Wyatt seemingly does die in tonight's episode, you know, when he's tied up to the chair and he's just stopped struggling and he kind of, you know, head falls over and it's like, wait, Wyatt? Then, you know, unless George says something, then if Wyatt was the one that killed Amanda, nobody's ever going to know. The reunion gives me the vibes of the Tyler Perry show. You know, that kind of like talk show segment that would occur after new episodes of the Haves and Have-Nots way back in the day on OWN during like season 2 or quote-unquote season 1 part 2, when they would air a new episode, and then afterwards he would have stars from the Haves and the Have-Nots or some of his other, you know, movies that were out at the time, like, you know, for Colored Girls, I think, or, you know, like Why Did I Get Married Too, I think. Basically, you know, Tyler Perry would have a variety of people he's worked with or were working with at the time come on that talk show. So to have the cast reunite, and I could be wrong, just keep in mind here, I don't know every single person that shows up. I just feel like, based on the quote-unquote like behind the scenes and whatnot, it's safe to assume that it's just the core 9, you know, Jim, Catherine, Wyatt, David, Veronica, Jeffrey, Hannah, Benny, and Candace, you know, just based on, you know, like a couple of photos that took place outside of the studio the studio where they did the reunion. You know, it looked like they were at like a dinner or a brunch or something, and you know, it just had the main cast. But you know, that's not to say that these 9 aren't great. It's just that, you know, the cast has been so the show almost ran for 200 episodes, so obviously not every single person will come back. But I would have loved to see some of the reoccurring / you know, B tier characters come back, like, you know, Quincy or Warlock. And hell, Amanda was A tier until she was killed off. But, you know, it's just sad. But at the same time, I'm excited to see what's happening. It was brought to my attention a couple of days ago, and I'm glad I waited to actually do this video, that the cast reunion is going to be a 2-night event where it's going to occur on the 27th, basically the Tuesday after the finale, and then part 2 of the reunion is going to be on August 3rd. Some people were sending me screenshots from like TV Guide, Zap2it.com, various TV schedule websites and television menus, and I'm like, oh damn, this, I mean, it's only fair. I mean, the series was hella long and there's a lot to talk about, so I am very interested to see, you know, what's going to happen. But of course, you know, they've already posted the questions. Well, actually, it's too late now. The reunion is over. You know, on the Facebook pages, I actually did videos about this about a week or so ago. And I was like, hey, you know, on Facebook, they were like, what are some of your favorite cast moments? If you could ask any cast member a question, what would it be? Comment on this post below or email, you know, then they gave the Oprah email address. But either way, I'm just excited to see the cast. I think this reunion is already a step up from the If Loving You Is Wrong finale reunion, as well as the Greenleaf reunion, because of the fact that the world, I know we got the variant going on right now, but the world is a bit more open than it was, you know, this time in 2020. So the cast are actually in person in front of a live audience, which I think is a major step up, as opposed to, you know, everybody zooming in and whatnot. But I'm just so excited for this to go down. And I don't know if Tyler Perry's going to be there. I hope he is. I mean, it just doesn't feel right if he's not there, considering the fact that this was the show to end all shows. I mean, in terms of his career. You don't get me wrong, I know some people think that, you know, House of Pain is still the best, and, you know, some people argue that, hey, I know these shows are relatively new, but, you know, The Oval and Sisters, I love them way more than the Haves and Have-Nots. But keep in mind, most people compare the Haves and the Have-Nots of the past, you know, 2 to 3 years to the first seasons of Sisters in The Oval. But I'm talking way back when this show was fire. Temptation Tuesday. You were an outcast if you didn't watch Temptation Tuesday. It's like how you feel completely out of the loop the same way if, let's say, you haven't watched the latest MCU film. I think that if Tyler, I feel like I will be, there are two things that disappointed me about this, because several people, and I'm not upset or anything, but several people asked me, hey, I saw today they were filming this cast reunion or something like that yesterday. I just want to ask, you know, did you get an invite to be part of it? Unfortunately, no. I feel like the Final Temptation, that in itself was a fan driven special. It was made by the fans, for the fans, by submitting videos and things like that, and, you know, the own producers put it together to create that special. And I always thought that after the final episode they would do a more cast centric reunion. Basically, you would have the special that would have the cast involved. So the only thing I'm disappointed about is, like, damn, I would have loved to be in that studio audience. To be in the to be sitting there with the cast on stage. Mind you, some of my crushes aren't there, like Melissa and Amanda, unless they pop up magically. This is apparently this is a 2-part special. But that's one disappointment. But the second one is, if Tyler Perry isn't there, I feel like that's such a damn shame if he's not. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm dead wrong. Maybe Tyler Perry's hosting it, like, again, the Tyler Perry show. That would be phenomenal. Maybe he's not in night 1, but maybe he's in night 2. I don't know. Either way, I would love for Tyler Perry to be there. It's at the Tyler Perry studio ground, so I feel like that alone should really warrant his appearance, because of the fact that this was the show that was the flagship of many of his other projects. Oh, the Haves and the Have-Nots was a hit. How about making Too Close to Home for TLC and then taking the drama format and using that in the Oval? I mean, I'll never forget watching the first few episodes of the Oval and people automatically saying, hey, look at some of the elements of the Oval. It looks like, you know, they took have and have nots and, you know, kind of spiced it up a bit. So I am looking forward to this reunion. Thankfully, it's one of those situations where I don't really have to do a lot of reviews. I'll probably wait until both parts are done before I do a review. Or, I mean, unless there are good talking points. Like, for example, since every storyline won't be resolved, I'm pretty sure there were some fan questions that are directed towards the cast of, well, no, I can't say that, because since the show isn't over yet and the finale's been filmed, I wonder if there will be fan questions like, you know, hey, well, we didn't find out what happened to this character. What would you have liked to have happened to them? That kind of thing. Like, they said the same thing in If Loving You Is Wrong, but I would just be so mad if the live audience got to stand up and ask questions and I'm not there. Okay, I'm just kidding. But overall, that's really all I had to say. It was just great, you know, seeing the cast together. And let me double check that photo somebody sent me. I think it was on Veronica's Instagram stories. Wait, I don't see John Snyder. No, I don't think I saw John Snyder. I mean, I hope he's there. I mean, it's freaking Jim Cryer. How can he not be there? But like I said, this picture that's in like a restaurant, I mean, maybe he's in the restroom. I don't know. I just feel like you can't have a reunion without the core 9 there, but that's just my opinion. So with that being said, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Are you looking forward to the reunion? I feel like, you know, it's great that they're really going to milk out the haves and the have-nots for as long as they can. And, yeah, and of course, even when the show's over, I'm pretty sure I'll have some topics of discussion as well as, like, you know, what ifs? Is the show coming back? Hell, maybe they might address it during the special. You never know. So make sure you stay tuned. And as soon as they drop like a promotional trailer for the reunion, which I imagine they'll do next week, I'll be sure to talk about it. So once again, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.